So today I'm excited to welcome Chris, Ryan, and Zach from Glossy Boy to Totally Music to chat about their new single Lick. Glossy Boy, welcome to Totally Music. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the singer.
I'm Zach. I'm the drummer.
And I'm Ryan on bass.
Nice to have you all on. So, how did you all meet?
So we actually grew up together. We went to school together, so we've known each other going on about 15 years now, I think. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
uh,
at least.
Yeah.
I think I met Ryan first
Mm.
because we went on a school trip together in when we were like 12 or 13,
Yeah,
and then
shared a room.
yeah, shared a
Oh.
room, go way back. And then I feel like we must have met you, Chris, like pretty quickly after because
Yeah.
big band, and we played in like a brass band together, and like we all did music, and we kind of like just found each other.
Yeah, lots of orchestras and stuff. So yeah, around the sort of like year 9, year 10, I guess. But yeah, way back.
So, how did you come up with the name Glossy Boy?
Huh.
Um, yes, so it's basically because we're all from Gloucestershire. That's where that came from. So glossy boy, that was a sort of iteration there. And I think also the name kind of has connotations of the kind of music we play. It's kind of sort of sparkly, glossy, poppy stuff. So I think it sort of worked well. But yeah, it's sort of a subtle sort of callback to where we're from.
So what inspires the music you create?
Do you guys want to go for that?
Wow. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess like our classic reference point is the sort of noughties, maybe early tens, like in classic indie artists like Two Door Cinema Club and Arctic Monkeys, etc. I mean, that's what we grew up. That's what we like partied to as teenagers and stuff, you know. So I think that's always close. Uh, but I
Yeah.
guess we like now we want to try and like make it a bit more contemporary as well and a bit more poppy. So I guess like lots of bands like Blossoms and people who have a slightly more synthy kind of contemporary sound, we draw from them too. But I don't know, like lyrically, Chris, I don't know if you want to share what inspires.
um,
Chris is the main songwriter.
I really love like the lyrical works of like Arctic Monkeys and like Alex Turner, and bands like the 1975, like Matty Healy. I think he's a great lyricist. I try and make lyrics that clever and that sort of nice to sing. I think is what we try and do is try to make the lyrics actually fun to sing. I don't think I've perfected it yet, but I think it's getting better as each song we do. So I'm pretty happy with the lyrics we've come up with so far. But yeah, those kind of like early noughties bands and just I think the whole sort of bubble of nostalgia from our childhood, bringing it into the music we make, and just knowing that like some of the best sort of gigs and like festival experiences and parties we've gone to have been sort of based around these kind of songs and the ones you sort of sing back and ones you remember that are sort of timeless.
How
Yeah,
are
I mean,
you?
also, I never want to shy away from throwing something a bit unexpected in there, like just referencing some disco stuff from the 80s or
Oh yeah.
something like that.
Ryan is
I
our
think
like
it's
resident explorer.
Yes, no, we'll come up with an obscure reference to a track, but it always works, and there's always some really interesting like bits we can take from different genres as well.
Yeah. I do think we have quite a diverse pool. Like what
Yeah.
lit, for example, was kind of like we had lots of kind of it started as a vaccine song really, but then we kind of like we wanted it to go a bit more summery and light, like Vampire Weekend. But then what came out of it um was kind of a little bit Paul Simon Gracelandy sometimes in how it felt with the kind of like slightly funky edge, which is like a reference that we wouldn't have expected to get to, but just yeah, ended up being really nice.
So what's been your favourite song you've written and why?
I'd have to say our latest song, Lick, and that's not just a plug, but I do think it is the best song we've written. I think mainly because the songs we've done in the past, as much as they are Glossy Boy songs, they were ones, a lot of them at the starting point was written sort of initially by me back in like my uni days, and then developed with the guys and made into the great songs they are now. That was whereas with sort of Lick, it's the first one we've all done sort of collaboratively from day dot and from the start and really sort of formed it from the ground up. all three of us. So I think that's what makes it good. And we sort of went a bit more into the production side of it and looked for more studios that were sort of and producers that were sort of based around the sound we wanted, and focused sort of going from that end. And I think it really paid off with who we chose. Went to Neighbourly Music Studios up in Macclesfield and used this producer called Mark Winterburn, who's worked on some really great stuff and great artists, like really big names that we listen to. And he was amazing. So yeah, I think that really helped craft the sound into what it is now. I don't know if you two agree, if that's our best song, but I certainly think it is.
Yeah, I actually think that my personal favorite is maybe, can I say the next one?
Oh, yeah, go on, yeah. Leave them guessing.
I mean, similar thing, like this man, Chris, is an absolute wizard of a singer and a guitarist. So he can bring songs into the room that we don't even need to be there. But it's been really fun with these last couple and sort of going forward, where Zach and I have had a chance to really get into the roots of the songs as well and shape what they are at that stage. And that's something similar. I say our next track, you'll hear that at some point. But I really love what we've achieved as a group there.
Yeah, I echo all of this.
Nice. So as you've mentioned, you've just released a new song, Lick, on the 19th of July. Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think it's our best track. I think it's really fun. We played it live loads before we got to recording it. And it was one that sort of instantly shone to us, that everyone sort of instantly picked up and really liked, and you could tell that people were really into it. And it's got a really fun sort of sing-alongable chorus, and we'd always sort of bring that to the attention before we played it. We're like, let's get them to sing along, and it was just sort of instant, and it really brought the energy to our gigs, and it sort of helped us and like help the crowd like get into it, and it sort of made the rest of the gig even better. So we definitely knew we were on to like a real winner with that. And I think during the process of recording and getting to the final point, I think it's kind of exactly what I wanted it to sound like in my head. So yeah, I think I'm really proud of it.
Yeah,
I would just add to that as well. I think kind of having fun and a bit of a light-hearted edge is always something that we've kind of enjoyed and appreciated in music. And I think that with this last track, it's probably it's probably the one where that comes to the foremost. And you kind of, we've had the privilege of playing it for people live in a room, and you kind of feel that energy level match that sense of playfulness, which is really nice.
I suppose like lyrically as well, it's basically just about summer romances and like the sort of the niceness, the nostalgic summers that you have, that you remember, of like a summer romance, like fun with friends and in the sun, and just basically just like those kind of timeless memories you have of nostalgic summers gone by, really. It's the overarching theme.
So what was the creation process like for the song?
Sort of like, yeah, said before, sort of I started sort of just messing around on sort of voice notes and coming up with a basic structure of this song way back in like April 2023, I think was the date on the voice note I found. And I've been listening to a lot of Vaccines, as I said before, so kind of wanted to make sort of a chanty, summery song, and playing around with sort of like a chanty chorus. And once sort of got the basic structure down to the boys, and we jammed it out, and they added their bits and their 2 pence, sometimes 4 pence from Zach, yeah. But really, yeah, and then it formed this awesome song. Because I usually just start with like chords and voice, but then we sort of took. There's another thing actually that was different with this song. We kind of took the chords away a little bit and brought in a more sort of melody-led guitar line that the boys sort of helped me come up with, and I think that really made the song. And then from there, we just got into the studio, and it was actually, looking back, it's quite a long process. It didn't feel that long in the at the time, but looking back to from where the original voice note was to when it's been released, it's almost like sort of 1.5 years, 2 years. So, but yeah, it was a fun process for sure.
It was a good one because I really remember the time you first brought it to us, or actually not the voice note, but when you first played it. And I think we all thought, oh, like this has definitely got legs, but it does just sound like a vaccine song. And we really need to like mess with it a bit so that it doesn't sound just like a rip-off. And it's what you said, like the just changing the chords in the verse from away from chords to the kind of like plucked thing that you have going on instead, suddenly like completely changed the vibe and gave it much more of a kind of Vampire Weekend-y, summery, like light-hearted, not too intense feel. So that was like a really good moment of like collaboration. That it was like quite a small thing, but it made a big difference to the song. And yeah, as Chris said, I bought a cowbell for the sole purpose of this song as
Yeah.
well. We just thought, you know what? Actually, I was actually desperate to buy a cowbell, and I was like, you know what, this song can take it.
That's true. Listen for the cowbell.
I've got to get my trumpet out as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Oh, actually, this is a good story. Ryan, in a characteristic display of craziness, Ryan, in the middle of the recording session, decided to do the like 2 or 3 hour round trip to Manchester to pick up some particular kind of trumpet mute, which we didn't even use in the end.
And which he dropped as soon as he got it and dented it.
It's all right. You've got to break these things in. Like,
Exactly.
a pristine mute's just going to sound awful. But no, the other thing with the process of building this song up together, I kind of wish we could like invite people into the rehearsal studio sometimes, just because I think it'd be hilarious being a fly on the wall, watching kind of us riff out some things, and then Zach going, "Oh yeah, that's great, but can you make it more boom boom ba dum bum?" Or me going, "Hey Zach, on the drums, do you think you could try a bit of skibbity bat?"
Yeah. it always does make sense. But yeah, we do tend to speak in that way. But yeah, it was cool that we got to use Ryan's trumpet skills on this, because he's a phenomenal musician and multi-instrumentalist extraordinaire. So yeah, it's always good when we can put some trumpet in there, and I think that really adds to it as well. One of my favorite parts of the tune.
What are your favorite set of lyrics from the song?
Oh, I like the chorus, the line that's I want to feel your hand in mine and maybe get married someday. It's pretty simple, but it's just quite fun to sing. And also, Ryan actually got married this year, and we got to play at his wedding. And we played that, and I didn't realize the sort of appropriateness of that lyric until we were actually singing it, and that was a really nice moment. So I think for me, I think it's quite nice. Quite like that bit. Don't know if you guys have a favorite lyric.
I like the post-chorus lyrics. Like,
oh yes,
salmon roll, paracetamol, cannonball, because they mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
they're just there to rhyme,
and they don't really rhyme as well. You kind of
barely rhyme.
You do really have to sort of force it.
Cannonball.
Yeah, you do have to kind of force it.
Ryan. Ryan doesn't know the words. He's a bassist.
Hey, I have to sing at least 3 of them.
So how did you come up with the artwork for the song?
So yeah, with this, we were lucky enough to have a whole day photo shoot with a great photographer called Colette, who we knew through Zach's friend Eleanor, who helped sort of art direct the shoot. So it was a really cool day actually that we got the assistance of these great creatives, and we just sort of were around sort of Islington area, where Zach lives, and just shooting these sort of cool press shots. And we were thinking we wanted something like an ice cream for the cover, because Lick sort of just made sense. And so we went to this like sorbet shop, extortionate ice cream shop in Islington. I think we paid, I don't know how much we paid, maybe like £5 for one scoop. Yeah, for this.
So we're not giving them a shout out then.
Yeah, not letting them. It was very nice. I actually can't remember the name of it. But yes, this brightly colored thing, and then we just sort of took lots of pictures of it melting in my hand, so that we got sort of the nice angle from it.
It did have a pink wall, which the shot which was pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, we started with this like awesome shot to begin with, and then not to plug myself, but I do the sort of the design for the band and do the album covers, because my day job is graphic designer, so I like to sort of bring that in there as well. And so I sort of came up with this idea of having the song title as like a little sort of fruit sticker, like the stickers you find on fruits. And then sort of using that graphic device throughout our sort of posters and our next single and stuff, and making that kind of a running theme throughout. So yeah, so that was quite fun to play with as well. So yeah, and I think the cover came out pretty cool. I think it's pretty striking and pretty recognizable, and it's also good because you can kind of spot it in a playlist when it's a tiny little thing, because it's quite obvious, like the colors of it work well. So yeah,
I like it. So what's one message you have for your fans?
Please come to our gigs and buy our merch. No, well, yeah, but also I think for me, just a massive thank you, really, because it's only recently we've kind of developed a fan base, as it were. We actually have recurring sort of fans from all across Europe that we've seen tagging us in different posts and TikToks they make, where they essentially, through their own means and their own ideas, they'll print off like stickers with our band name on and have the Spotify code, and they'll just be sticking them around their hometowns, be that sort of Amsterdam or like Warsaw or places like that, which is pretty crazy to think that's happening. And it also shone through a lot when we released the song, because they were very committed to streaming it and amazing at sort of sharing it, and just like, yeah, which is pretty cool because we haven't met half these people, which is crazy to me to think that they're out there and like, you know, wearing our merch and knowing our songs and sort of knowing all the words and stuff. And it's yeah, it's pretty humbling. It's yeah.
And just keep using the music to have a blast. Like it's absolutely amazing seeing people having a good time with it. So
Yeah.
thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we always like, we just remember our own sort of teen era, like having amazing house parties and like dancing, and that's kind of what we want to conjure in the music. So if everyone has a party to the tunes that we make, that's basically the win-win.
Yeah, I mean, also shout out to we have one fan in particular. I just want to shout her out if she watches this. But a girl called Charlotte, she came all the way from Germany to watch one of our gigs, which was mad. And she made us all these bracelets. I don't know if you can see on the camera there, but it says Glossy Boy. So we've each got one of these. And I wear it all the time because it just reminds me that there's someone out there I never knew before that now knows our songs, which is pretty crazy to me. So yeah,
It's nice. So finally, what's next for you?
Well,
getting famous, right?
Getting famous, yeah. That's obviously
that's it now.
That'll be tomorrow's job. Yeah, we got some new stuff coming out. We're going back to the studio early September to finish off the next single, which is really cool. It's a slight different sort of mood change. It's a bit heavier, but I think it's really fun, and I think hopefully people will like it. And then we're writing new stuff. Whether we'll record that just as quickly, time will tell. But they're all sounding really good. And yeah, most importantly, we got this headline gig coming up on the 22nd of August at Hope and Anchor in Islington, and we're playing the new single and new tunes and new covers and stuff. It's gonna be really fun. And yeah, we managed to get some cool support acts. Our friend Hannah Maisie, who's opened for us before, she's a really great independent artist herself. She's released some new tunes, so she's coming down with her band as well, all the way from Manchester, which is amazing. And this other band called Indigo Apartment, which we actually met when we played at the sort of Isle of Wight Emerging Talent Contest. We were competing against them. They actually made it further than us, so they're good. So they're really fun as well. So yeah, super happy with that. But I'm gonna let you guys talk now as well.
I think you covered off just about
everything. Yeah,
sorry.
What's next for us?
Yeah, I mean, you literally did cover it off. To be fair.
Yeah, sorry.
Fun, lots more fun songs, hopefully.
Yeah,
I think the main thing is the best is yet to come.
Looking forward to it. So a massive thank you, Glossy Boy, for joining me on Totally Music. If anyone would like to check out the music, I'll leave all the links in the description below for you. But thank you.
Thanks so much.
So much.